Yesterday, Bethesda announced that they are going to retire the Bethesda Games Launcher. This news has come as a surprise to many of us, and even more to the point, we are not being given any choices. There is a lot to unpack here, and I want to make sure that everyone knows just what is happening, so let's get started. For those of us playing on PC, many of us have been using the Bethesda Launcher to get into our games. Some of us use Steam for that Bethesda fix. Now, for unknown reasons, Bethesda has decided to retire the Bethesda Launcher. In the announcement, we are told that a planned migration to Steam is going to take place. This may be worrisome for many of you, myself included. Starting in early April, we will be able to migrate our games and wallet to our Steam accounts. The details for this migration process will be coming as we get closer to the forced migration timeframe. As such, we are being given plenty of time to prepare ourselves for this big change. Here is what they said exactly. You have plenty of time to begin migrating your Bethesda.net library to your Steam account. The migration to Steam will include your game library and wallet, meaning you will not lose anything from your Bethesda.net account. More on this part in a moment. Many games will also have their saves migrated, with a few requiring some manual transfers. For games that require it, you will still use your Bethesda.net login to sign in and play. Your Bethesda.net account will not be lost and will still be accessible on our website and in-game, and we will continue supporting all Bethesda.net accounts with our future titles. So what Bethesda is trying to say here is you are not going to lose anything due to this change. However, there is a big asterisk here. I'll explain that when I get a bit further into this hot mess. The article then goes on to state that they know there are going to be lots of questions, and that they know there are going to be a lot of questions that are specifically for Fallout 76 users as well. In fact, there was an entire article for 76 alone. We will cover that in a bit too. It then states that until May, you will still be able to access and play your games through the Bethesda Launcher. But we suggest that you start the migration process as soon as it's available. That last bit worries me because it sounds like if you put it off and wait too long, you could lose stuff. This is a big problem because they are not saying that it will happen, but they're implying it based on the wording. Next up are the frequently asked questions, and we are going to go through this point by point. How will I play my games? We encourage our Bethesda.net launcher community to continue their experience on Steam. In early April, you will be able to migrate your Bethesda.net library to your Steam account. Any title you own on the Bethesda.net launcher will be available to you free on Steam. Your purchases will carry over to your Steam account. Many game saves will also transfer, however, some may require manual copying. For more information on which games will require you to manually move saves, please see our FAQ entry, What Happens to My Game's Progression and Saves. So much of that long-winded answer is just copy and pasted from the earlier part of the article. It does sound like there is going to be some work we are going to have to do to make sure our game saves carry over. What will happen to the Bethesda.net launcher? You will continue to have access to the Bethesda.net launcher and access to your games until May. Starting in May, you will no longer be able to play and access your games within the Bethesda.net launcher. Basically, May is the cutoff. Again, it is not clear if you will lose anything once this hard cutoff happens if you have not migrated yet. Will I still need a Bethesda.net account if I no longer use the launcher after transferring to Steam? Yes. Many of our games and services still rely on you to have a Bethesda.net account. This will allow you to retain access to Bethesda.net services, including game mods, in-game items like skins, and access to exclusive news and updates. This means we will still need the login information that we have been using all this time, so keep tabs on that. Will I have access to the games I own on the Bethesda.net launcher available to me on Steam? Yes. You will need to take steps to transfer your Bethesda.net account info to your Steam account. Once the migration process to Steam is available, we will let everyone know and update this FAQ with the link on where and how to migrate. Please note that you may begin the process at any time after it becomes available, but in May, you will no longer be able to play your purchased games on the Bethesda.net launcher. You will not lose access to your library on Bethesda.net in May, only the ability to play them on the launcher. The answer to that question is kind of confusing. On one hand, it seems like you will be able to keep everything, and on the other hand, that May deadline seems like it could cause a problem if you end up waiting. So as much as I dislike the entire move by Bethesda, I would encourage you to make that move as soon as it is available. This way, there is no issues and you don't lose anything. Better to be safe than sorry. What happens to my game progression and saves? Should you choose to transfer your Bethesda.net library to your Steam account, we will provide instructions on how to migrate your game progression and saves over to your Steam account where possible, so you may continue playing where you left off. Some saves will automatically transfer. However, some will require you to manually copy them to your Steam folder. We will have more information on manually transferring saves soon. At this time, we expect almost all save progression to be transferred automatically or manually, with the exception of Wolfenstein Youngblood, which currently is unable to transfer. Virtual currencies and in-game add-ons such as DLC and in-game skins will automatically transfer. Remember that asterisk I mentioned earlier? Well, this last question is why. So as of right now, your game save for Wolfenstein Youngblood will not be able to transfer. I don't know why that is, and Bethesda has not given any details on why either. That said, if it can happen in one game, it can happen to others too. This is just one reason why I dislike this move. Will my in-game virtual currency, atoms, crowns, etc. be moved to Steam? Yes. Your Bethesda.net wallet will transfer over to Steam once you have completed the transfer process. This is another instance where I'm putting an asterisk in. It sounds like the migration process is more convoluted than it seems on the surface, and based on the wording of these answers, it sounds like there could be a delay in the time frame for these things like purchased items and currency to move over. I certainly hope I am wrong here, but I somehow doubt that I am. Can I migrate to PlayStation or Xbox instead of Steam? No. We are only able to support transferring your Bethesda.net account information on PC. We cannot transfer PC account information to consoles. This one at least makes sense. Consoles have completely different rules and coding, so migrating in that manner is more of a chore. However, I don't see why we can't use another option like Microsoft since they own Bethesda anyway. But I digress. May I migrate my account to another PC service instead of Steam? No. We are only supporting transferring account information from Bethesda.net launcher to Steam. This one troubles me for so many reasons. I can understand not wanting to maintain their own launcher. However, to basically be forced into using only one option, that being Steam, is preposterous. I know many of you may not have a problem with this, but I do, and so do many others. Those of us who use the current launcher do so because we don't want to use Steam. Steam is not as great as some might think. For those who might not realize this, competition breeds innovation. If all we are left with is one launcher to play our games, then we will be the ones that suffer in the end. Make no mistake, this move is bad for everyone. Does the launcher closing affect my Bethesda.net account? No. You will still need to log into your Bethesda.net account to play our live titles such as Fallout 76 and access other services offered. Our games will continue to use a Bethesda.net account in the future. What about Fallout 76? We have a comprehensive Fallout 76 FAQ available here. We will dive into that FAQ in a moment. For now, let's finish this one. Are the same languages supported? Yes. Will friends list be merged? Will I need to re-friend friends I added on Bethesda.net? Games that have the Bethesda.net friends list will be merged after migration. This includes Fallout 76, Doom Eternal, Wolfenstein Youngblood, The Elder Scrolls Legends, Rage 2, and Deathloop. This one is a big deal. I don't know about you, but if my friends list was somehow lost, I would not be able to remember all of the names on that list to try to re-friend. That said, the list here is very specific, so if you have another game that also has a friends list, you will want to make sure that you make a second copy of it just in case there is no option to migrate it. Will the Bethesda.net launcher sunset affect my ability to play The Elder Scrolls Online on PC? No, The Elder Scrolls Online is unaffected by this change. This one is a standout question because if it is unaffected, then why can't the rest of the games be the same way? Call me crazy, but something just doesn't add up here. Now, let's talk about how this affects Fallout 76, since Bethesda made it a point to create an entire FAQ just for this game. The article starts off with the same dribble as the first one about the time frame and so on. The next part reads as follows. You won't have to worry about losing a thing either. We're taking every precaution to ensure your Fallout 76 characters, progression, atoms, season progress, cosmetics, rewards, your friends list, and even the perfectly preserved pies you've been hoarding make the journey with you. In addition, your Bethesda.net account will remain accessible on our website, and you will still use it to log in to play Fallout 76. The article then goes into the FAQ portion. There are several questions, so let's get right to it. How will I continue playing Fallout 76? We're encouraging everyone in our Bethesda.net launcher community to continue their experiences with our games on Steam. In early April, you will be able to migrate your Bethesda.net library to your Steam account. Any title you own on the Bethesda.net launcher will be available to you free on Steam, including Fallout 76, and your purchases will carry over to your Steam account. Again, this answer is just a copy and paste with a touch of Fallout 76 added in. Will I lose my character progress? No. As long as your Steam account is linked to the Bethesda.net account you use when playing through the Bethesda.net launcher, then you will have access to the same characters on Steam. We will provide instructions to link your account in April. Basically, they're saying as long as you follow the instructions, you won't lose anything. I can see some issues happening with this, but again, I digress. Will my atoms transfer to Steam? Yes. Any atoms you have on your account through the Bethesda.net launcher will be transferred or added to your Steam account. This one again makes me nervous. It sounds like they're anticipating possible issues. The word use is everything here. When I see added, I hear, oops, something went wrong in the transfer. Keep track of how many atoms you have before the move, because I have a feeling this is not going to be as smooth as they say. Will my season's progress be maintained? Yes. Seasons and challenge progression are stored on your Bethesda.net account, which means that you will maintain your earned ranks, claimed ranks, and challenge progress when you migrate to Steam. Will my camp build be affected? No. Everything saved on your characters, such as their camp and shelter builds, will remain with those characters through the migration. Will I still have my friends list? Yes. Steam utilizes our Bethesda.net friends system, just like the Bethesda.net launcher, which means you will retain your current friends list when you migrate. What will happen to the Fallout 76 public test server? We launched the Fallout 76 public test server on Steam during the Invaders from Beyond update playtesting. Going forward, playtesting for all future PTS phases will only be available on PC through Steam. This one grabbed my attention right away. Does this mean that the next update playtesting won't be available on the Bethesda.net launcher? It sure sounds like it. This is a big deal because it means one of two things. Either we will not begin playtesting the next update until after the migration, or it will be exclusive to Steam players until the migration takes place. Either option is unacceptable in my view. What will happen to the Bethesda.net launcher? You will continue to have access to the Bethesda.net launcher and your games there until we begin the sunsetting process in May. At that time, you will become unable to access or play your games within the Bethesda.net launcher. You will be able to initiate account migration starting in April, and we highly encourage you to start that process as soon as it becomes available. What will happen with my Fallout First membership? If you have an active Fallout First membership, you will continue to have the same in-game benefits after migrating to Steam as you do on the Bethesda.net launcher. Once you move to Steam, all of the remaining atoms due to you from your membership will instantly be credited to your account. If you're a yearly member, you'll receive all of your atoms for the remainder of your membership. For instance, if your yearly membership expires in 8 months' time, you'll receive all 8 months at once when you migrate to Steam. In April, your Fallout First membership will not automatically renew. Once your membership expires, you will need to renew your membership on the Steam platform. You can check the expiration date of your Bethesda.net Fallout First membership on your account on Bethesda.net. This one is a huge deal because this means no more monthly installments on atoms if your membership goes beyond the migration timeframe. Instead, you'll get it all at once. In-game, you'll still get the benefits though. This also means that we are likely to see an increase in cost as Steam takes a cut of all sales on their platform. If I sound upset, it's because I am. I truly dislike Steam. I don't like being forced to use a platform that I already avoid like the plague. I like having choices and having other options available to play the games that I love. For those old enough to remember, we never used to have game launchers at all. We never needed third-party launchers to load up our games. All we needed was the game copy and have it installed on our system. We had so much more freedom back then. In my opinion, game launchers in general are bad for gamers. All that said, since we no longer live in those days, having other options is the best thing for gamers because when the pool of available launchers is reduced, it is us gamers that will suffer. Competition is the key to innovation and success. Without it, there is no incentive for a company to please its user base because there is no alternative. This move by Bethesda is wrong on so many levels, and I am deeply disappointed in them. I have stood by, even defended much of what they do and have done in the last couple of years. I don't think they intentionally mean harm to anyone, but they sure aren't going out of their way to gain trust either. All I know is that this needs to stop. I am at my wit's end with Bethesda. They need to do some serious soul searching and get back to what made them great in the first place. I know I normally have a nice laid-back style, and I am sorry if anyone found this episode to be bad or uninteresting. I really needed to vent my frustrations here because this really angered me. I don't normally just end an episode on a low note, but this time I am just too upset. So thanks for stopping by and listening to my rant. I hope I at least helped clear up what is going on. There will be a follow-up episode once the migration details are given, so stay tuned. On that note, have a good day or night, and I'll see you again soon.